This FIFA World Club Cup Group Picks, Player Props and Match Day 1 Picks edition of the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Edge Boost, the bank account built for bettors. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with the promo code SGPN and get a free Refs or Terrorist t-shirt. Claim your shirt at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/refs. Hola y bienvenidos a la Premier League Gambling Podcast. Mi nombre es Malcolm Bamford, transmitiendo desde Newcastle upon Tyne y estamos aquí para hacer nuestra selección para la Copa Mundial, the Club de la FIFA. Learned a bit of Spanish this week, Baz, because that's all the rage, apparently. But Liverpool fans would spit their dummies out, wouldn't they? I have never known a more ridiculous reaction to anything in my entire life. He's dead to them now, Baz, because he said something in Spanish. Saw the bloke who screenshotted something off Wikipedia saying, it typically takes an English person 6 to 9 months to become fluent in Spanish. Oh, he's definitely had this plan for months. Tits, the absolute lot of them. Get that off my chest, Baz. Did you like me Spanish? I've never spoke Spanish before, but it didn't take me 6 to 9 months. It took me about 40 seconds. How you doing, Baz? What's happening?
I mean, I thought it might have been Brazilian, if I would be honest with you, but there you go. All the same, innit?
It's all the same, yeah. Sweeping dismissal of all foreign cultures from Barry. I get the impression, readers, that Barry is not overwhelmed with enthusiasm for the Club World Cup. It's Friday tea time now, if you're listening to the podcast and not live. 6 o'clock on a Friday, and I've eventually managed to wrangle Barry into the podcast studio because he's really not very keen on this, Baz. Is this correct?
Yes, and there might be a few reasons for this. Like, I mean, I've explained I'm not really asked about this tournament, and that might change. But I just had no enthusiasm, no motivation at all to go handicap this group of games or look at all the groups and all it, because it's just friendly football, isn't it? Like, if I look through
Is it though?
Well, when have
You
you
think it is? It maybe used to be. I don't know.
You've never cared about this before, have you? The World Club Cup?
No, I've never cared about it, but that
so
doesn't mean they're not going to. I think you're saying the quality of the football is going to be a bit shite. They're not going to try.
Well, they might try. It's just a tournament that nobody's ever cared about before, and suddenly we're told we should care about it because they've put 32 teams in there. So they've now added more shite and a few more better teams. And I kind of get excited. I look at that first round of games. You said, let's make 3 or 4 picks from that first round of games. Honestly, there's not a single one I would turn the telly over for. But, I mean, you've got PSG v Atletico. But if PSG were playing Atletico in some sort of Super Cup or something, would you bother tuning in? Like, possibly, maybe. But I'm not tuning in for Inter Miami versus Al Ali at fucking 1 o'clock in the morning. If you think I'm staying up late for that, you've got another thing coming. So yeah, I'm just struggling with it massively. The other thing is I've had a really, really busy week, so finding the time to get stuck into this shite has been problematic. But yeah.
Well, there you go.
Thankfully,
there you go, everybody.
Malcolm is full of enthusiasm for it, so I'm assuming he is full of analysis and red hot picks. So that's all that matters, isn't it? I've got some picks. You can do with it what you wish, like, but I'm struggling, like, really struggling.
So there you go. In a nutshell, everybody, that's where Barry stands on this. I couldn't stop making picks, Baz. I had to rein myself in. What got me enthusiastic for it was getting into it. I love a 32 team. I like. You can't wag it. I haven't had a massively busy week. Won't come as a surprise to you, Barry, or anyone else who knows me. But, I trapped myself to an early finish today. There's been a baby shower in next door's garden. The sexy neighbour next door is having a baby shower. If you open the bathroom window, if you get one leg up on the bath, you can just see. So you get a good angle. So I've had a look at that for an hour or so. I've quite enjoyed that today. I've got the golf on now. I haven't had any bets, but I put a few fantasy lineups. Need a few geezers to hang on to make the cut. The chat is live and kicking for tea time on a Friday, which is nice. Lee's been here for about 22 hours. Lee joined in for the 8 o'clock Thursday podcast, which didn't exist. So well done, Lee. He's back from his holidays. The Backus family are back as well. Callum's here. Harry, Chelsea. John Cullify enjoyed the Spanish. It was AI generated, that Spanish, John. I'm not a Spanish speaker. And Andy Williams is here as well. Andy, welcome along. I only gave out one match day pick on the last show, Baz. Senegal at 6-1. Don't worry about it, everybody. You're very welcome. Hope you enjoyed a lovely weekend break or a small family car with the winnings from that one. Did you watch that at all, Baz?
No, you messaged me and said I gave out Senegal last night, and at that point I hadn't even remembered the game was on. I'd been out at kids training all night anyway, but it just never crossed my mind that the game was on, so I never watched any of it. But I did have a little chuckle to myself when I seen it got beat 3-1.
It's a fucking great price. 6-1 was so insulting. Like, I'm not saying like they weren't going to win every time, but they should have been 3-1, 100-30 or something. 6-1 was insane. Something humorous that caught my eye this week, Barry. Did you see the Fleetwood Town and Barrow crack? Yeah, that was good. I like a bit of football banter. And if you're a grassroots football person like me, I've run adult teams for years and coach the kids, and Barry coaches the kids now. One of the huge expenses and one of the big focuses is on footballs. How many footballs you take, how many footballs you lose. If you take 8 footballs and return with 8 footballs, it's a massive plus. If you take 8 footballs and return with 9 footballs, that's the absolute dream. Because you always try and just nick one of the opposition's footballs and then spend all afternoon licking your thumb and rubbing off the initials. So because you write your own, you'll take a marker pen and write on TGFC or whatever you're doing. And Fleetwood Town made a signing this week and announced it on the social media. Photo of the bloke in his new kit, arms folded, looking very dapper, with his foot on a football. And then someone from Barrow AFC, which is just a couple of hours down the road, noticed it was one of their footballs and it had BAFC written on it in marker pen and tweeted asking if they could have that ball back. Which I thought was excellent. But it was a great spot, by the way. What the Barrow admin is doing, zooming in on the Fleetwood Town football, I've got no business. But that was quite good crack, Baz. And the last thing I did here, as Michael Chapman's joined us. Michael, how you doing? He's come in to say bye. But yeah, welcome along. Now, I enjoyed doing this, Baz. And I phoned Terza and said, "Oh, this is good exercise." And he said, "Are you absolutely mental? Why would you do that?" And I messaged you about it, and I didn't get a glowing response from you either. But it's Premier League fixtures release day next Friday, so I've had a lovely time predicting the first set of fixtures, Baz, because in my mind there's a system. Like you're never going to get the top 2. You're never going to get Liverpool v City on the opening weekend. You're not going to get a local derby. So there's kind of a system that fits. They want good visuals for the weekend. They want good TV games for the opening weekend. So I've used this framework to predict my first set of fixtures, and I'll take you through them briefly in a moment. But what I want everyone else to have a go. Are you in any way interested? No, you weren't, were you, Barry?
I was going to do it, but I didn't know we were doing it tonight. I thought that was ready
it's a challenge.
ready for
I'm
next
setting
week.
the challenge now,
Well,
and you've got till next week to do it.
I'll have my picks ready for next week's show.
And you win a prize probably, or not, But I want everyone to make their selections and then send them to us on Twitter. Send them to us via email. You can put them on Barry's Bebo. If you can comment underneath Spotify or YouTube or anything like that. But here's the framework for me, Baz. Here's the things we know, right? I'm going to take you through the thought process and prepare to be amazed next week. See, Lee's on the case already. Lee's gone with Burnley. He'll get Liverpool away. Now, I've got Burnley featured early on. Man United will get a dog shit team at home because the league won them. They get a dog shit team at home every year just to give them a helping hand off to a good start. But the league aren't as obvious as to make it Sunderland. It's like, when you order the second cheapest bottle of wine in a restaurant. That's what trying to convince the bloke that you're not a tight arse. That's what the Premier League are doing. They're trying to con us by giving Man United the second most dog shit team in the league. So Man United will be at home to Burnley. I've also actually written down what TV slots these are going to be in as well. So we get Man U at home to Burnley, Baz. See, there's never a big game. There's never a top 4 game. So you kind of end up playing 5v6. Like we've had a couple of Newcastle Villas and stuff. I think Tottenham are a draw with a new manager. There's going to be a lot of interest in Tottenham. And that'll be the Sunday 4 o'clock game. And I've given them Newcastle. So Tottenham, Newcastle. The other visuals they'll want are Everton's first game at the home stadium. But it's going to be a shit game because Everton is shit. So it's not going to be it's going to be the Saturday lunchtime game against Crystal Palace because it's only to see the stadium and what it looks like. No one actually cares about the football. Everton v Palace. Wolves v Arsenal, Saturday tea time. Forest v Liverpool, Sunday lunchtime. And then you get the other 8 teams, which are just dog shit. The teams no one's interested in will play each other. So you get Sunderland, West Ham, Man City, Brentford, Bournemouth, Chelsea, Brighton, Fulham. And they're your opening fixtures. So we'll mark them out at 10 next week. If you want to do your own and send them in, by all means do that. Any strong thoughts on that, Barry? Have you got anything, any templates for you? Jump off the page?
Spurs Newcastle I quite like. I think you're right. There's not going to be any massive ties on week 1 because they want to save them for crucial points of the season where there's at least some sort of background to it, So yeah, I think it'll be. I didn't mind some of your choices. Some good ones in there. But I'll come up with mine for next week.
And no offence to you either, Lee, but until about 10 minutes ago, I had Man United v Sheffield United written down. I'd forgotten Burnley got promoted, and for some reason I thought Sheffield United were in the Prem, and then it dawned on me that they weren't. So I had to scribble out Sheffield United and put Burnley down, which is the same thing. It's the second worst team in the league away at Man United. Lee's saying it's a shame we can't bet on it. I think you can. I'm sure Sky Bet had some markets up last year on this. I'll do some investigating this week. Have a little look, but I'm sure you can have a little go. I can't quite remember what the framework was.
I think it might
but
be
I think
like
you could
each
have
team's name each team's like so you could go who will play Man United in the first game. I'm sure they had a market
there you
for
go.
that where you could get a price on all 19 teams.
Holy shit. What we need to do is bear in mind on Thursday we've already got the correct score of what is it? Urawa Red Diamonds against Monterey or someone. We've got the 1-1 draw coming up on Thursday. Don't let us forget that, by the way. I'll have a look at my notes. I can't find it. I'll have a look at my notes in a minute, but we've got that. So when that wins, we'll smash into Man United v Burnley, and we'll be ready to go. Bob D has joined us. Bob's saying he's not far away from Philly. Yeah, MetLife Stadium's hosting both semis and the final, I think, in MetLife, Bob. But I think tickets are going cheap as chips. So yeah, take the whole family, Bob. You could take a coach load for a few quid, I think. We'll have a look. Some group picks is where we're going to start. A reminder to download the SGPN app. You've got College Baseball World Series stuff went live today with my mate Noah. NBA Finals, Stanley Cup. It's all on the app wherever you get those. Edge Boost is the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. No usage fees, no minimums, cashback rewards, 100% approval for all betting deposits. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet. Promo code is SGPN. If you sign up, you'll get a free Refs Are Terrorists t-shirt to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/refs to claim your free t-shirt. And the Circa Fantasy Football giveaway is still live and kicking. A free stay for your entire 12-person league to draft at Stadium Swim in a cabana there at the Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. There's a $5,000 tab as well for you and your mates to get tanked up on. 15% off all Circa properties for our listeners with the promo code SGP15. Enter the ultimate fantasy football contest for free at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CIRCA. Courtney's going to see Man United on their pre-season tour as well, which is fun. Very good. Right, Baz. Where do you want to start? We'll do some group stuff. You lead us off. Well, as usual with our cup episodes, we never discuss we never discuss where we're going. So we might have the same picks, we might have different, we might have conflicting picks. Only one way to find out, Baz.
Yeah, I've got 3 picks from the group betting. How many you got?
No idea. I can't
No,
even find them.
I'll just chuck out one for now. I mean, mine are very brief, as you might expect, given my lack of dedication to this competition at this stage. I've started off with Group A because Group A is at the top of the list. So I think it's a wide open one. Porto in there, who aren't really great as the top European side. Probably one of the weakest groups in terms of if you look at the European side, that's in each group. Porto not great. Inter Miami are very leaky at the back, and I think Palmeiras are a good shout here. You've talked about your Brazilians. What was your Brazilian write-up on Palmeiras? Are they were they featuring high on your list?
Palmeiras probably got the strongest squad. I did have a slight preference for Flamengo, and what concerns me slightly about Palmeiras is Porto is quite a tricky game, but it's a presence of Inter Miami, Baz, as well, which we do think is going to be a bit of a darling for the refs and the VAR. I do have a pick in this group, Baz, so it sounds like it's going to conflict with yours, but yeah, crack on.
Quite possibly. I mean, I don't think Al Ahly, Cairo are going to get out of this group. I think it's Inter Miami being defensively poor, and Porto are vulnerable in this one. I think Palmeiras will qualify, but I'm actually going to take them to win the group at 7-4. It's a group where I just think the points will be shared around quite a bit. You're probably not going to need a huge total to win the group. But yeah, Palmeiras to win Group A at 7-4 is going to be my pick.
Yeah, so my pick in Group A, Baz, was Inter Miami to get out the group. And what they need to do here is pick up a result against either Porto. Porto just didn't feature in my handicapping at all of anything. In the 11 European teams that are in here, Salzburg, I put a line through, and Porto were the other one. It just did the third best team in Portugal, just doesn't represent a good form line for me. And Palmeiras, yeah, absolutely live, but it's more of a handicap that I think Inter Miami could pick up a result here. They are playing a lot better than last season, sitting third in the league, so they're genuinely not terrible. Messi, Suarez, they've got a lot of good players in there as well. And they're 6-4 plus 150 to make it through the group. Could easily just get a decision or two go their way, I think. I mean, Busquets, Jordi Alba, it's a soft draw. I don't think they'll go particularly far in this group, but yeah, I'm just not massively keen on Palmeiras, and Porto do absolutely nothing for me at all. So I'll take Inter Miami to get out of the group at 6-4 plus 150. My second pick is going to come from Group D.
It's not a direct conflict, that, Malcolm, because we can still both hit Palmeiras, Inter Miami 1-2. You can still qualify, and I'll have me top the group for Palmeiras.
Yeah, assuming Al Ahly, Cairo will be a gimme in that one. And my second pick comes from Group D, Baz. And it's going to be Flamengo to win the group at 9-4 plus 225. So I took Flamengo to go relatively deep into the competition, 11-2 to make the semi-finals. And basically, they need to draw or a win against Chelsea. That's what this Group D comes down to for Flamengo. I do think they're going to have a decent run in this competition. It's one of those. There's some groups here where you've got the two middle teams are half decent, and they're looking to take points off each other. And then you've got some groups where you've got too good and too bad. So you've got Espérance de Tunis in this group with LAFC. Now, assuming Flamengo and Chelsea can beat both of those, Flamengo then need a draw and better goal difference or a win against Chelsea. And I think that's effectively it's a Flamengo double chance. So 9-4 plus 225, I think, represents very good value. Daquan the Great, haven't seen Daquan for a little while. Welcome along. Inter Miami to win against Al Ahly Cairo is Daquan's pick. Yeah, so I'll take Flamengo, Baz, to win Group D at 9-4. Next.
I'm in Group H, which is, where are we? Group H features Real Madrid at the top of the market, 1-6 to win the group. Al Hilal is 8-1 to win the group. Salzburg 9-1 and Pachuca 20-1. And I'm drawn towards Al Hilal here in the qualifying market. So Real Madrid, obviously very short favourites to win the group. But I think it's wide open from there. You've only got to get past Salzburg and Pachuca to qualify. And the Al Hilal team's full of quality players, plenty of experience in there. They've got Koulibaly, Ruben Neves, Malcolm, Mitrovic. I think they've still got Milinkovic, Savic possibly. So good quality players. Obviously, step up in terms of the tournament compared to what they're used to in Saudi. But a big opportunity for them to get out of the group here and make a little bit of a name for themselves. So I'm going to take Al Hilal 5-4 plus money price to qualify from this group. I think it's wide open once you get past Real Madrid in Group H.
My third pick is the same as your pick, Baz, Al Hilal, to make it out of the group. Pachuca look overfaced. Salzburg do nothing for me. A little bit like Inter Miami, we said that Al Hilal might just benefit from a decision or two. Won't be the worst thing for the organisers if a Saudi team can make a little bit of a run in this. They've got a ton of half decent players. They have those players that you listed there, Baz, comparable to anything that Salzburg or Pachuca are going to throw out. They scored a ton of goals as well. They're second in the league, but 95 goals. I think I mentioned last time out they've scored in the league. So they're not going to die wondering, Al Hilal. 5-4 plus 125. I like that. I've got a little Baz for 3 teams not to qualify as well, if I'll throw that out. So those were 3 outrights, but this pays 21-10 plus 210. So it's not gigantic, but not to qualify. I'm taking Al Ahly Cairo out of Group A, the group we already talked about with Inter Miami. They're 3-10, minus 300. LAFC to not make it out of Group D, that Flamengo and Chelsea group. They're 1-2, minus 200. And I've added in Botafogo from Group B, 1-2, minus 200. Didn't get a glowing reference from our Brazilian correspondent, Tiger. And that's the group where you've got PSG in Atletico Madrid, which really should be a little bit too much for Botafogo. So Al Ahly Cairo in Group A, LAFC in Group D, Botafogo in Group B. I don't know why I went ADB rather than the more traditional ABD, Baz, but 21-10 plus 210 for that. Baz, groups, anything else to add?
One final pick for me, and it's a team prop. I look for a team that's going to get no points, was what I was wanting to do here. And I've gone for WAC Casablanca to score 0 points. Big price, I think, because they're in the group of Man City and Juventus, so a tough start. They do play those 2 teams in the first 2 games as well. So a very, very real prospect of them being 2 games in and sitting on 0 points. So then it's going to come down to the 3rd game against Al Ain. And I just think Casablanca might end up losing that one. I think Casablanca are the weakest in the group. And a 7-2 for 0 points. As I say, facing Man City and Juventus, I think that's a big price, because if they do lose those first 2 games, I don't think you'll be getting 7-2 for them to lose that last game against Al Ain. So Casablanca, 0 points at 7-2.
My next pick, Barry, involved WAC Casablanca, Baz. Remarkably, having me being dead excited and you being dead miserable, we've handicapped this almost identically. I've got some different picks, but the same handicap is that Casablanca are right up against it. My main pick here is under 2.5 goals for Casablanca in the tournament. It's 5-6, minus 120. The main thing that put me off this was, if you remember, I was incredibly bullish on this very bet about Georgia in the Euros, and then they scored about 34 times.
Well, funny enough,
it was the bet of the tournament. It was my biggest £1 million bet and all that, and it was dogs. I shouldn't let that put me off. So I'm going to stick to me.
Can I just jump in there, Malcolm? Because my pick in that tournament, my pick for 0 points was Georgia as well. So we both totally made a mess of the Georgia one.
Well, that means we're even more likely to hit this one. Man City and Juventus, unlikely to score, you would suggest. Even if they get one in those games, they're still going to have to find 2 against Al Ain. If they blank against Man City and Juventus, they then have to score 3 against Al Ain, which I don't think is possible. So under 2.5 goals at 5-6, minus 120. And Callum has just pulled out the second pick that I like. It's the lowest scoring team, and they're 8-1. Now, I do think Auckland City are bang up against it. Auckland City are 5-6, minus 120 favourites. But Casablanca I'm playing for a dead heat, is what I'm doing here, Baz. Because if we're getting a dead heat, we'll take the 4-1. We take the 4-1 dead heat if they both finish on 0. That was my angling with it. It's almost like an each way play, like factoring in the dead heat, because it's a win only market. But you put the dead heat in there if they both blob. I mean, the only issue would be if a third team blobbed and you get third of the odds. But even then, still, 2.5-1, something like that. Not bad bet. So yeah, all about Casablanca doing nout. Barry, what's your next place? Are you into the match day stuff now? No?
I've got one player prop, top scorer. I'm assuming you've
Go on, then keep going.
Top scorer market.
This is all great stuff, this, Pat.
I've got just one pick in the top scorer market, and I've gone for Guirassi for top scorer. Each way, it's 16-1. If you shop around, there's 16-1 available for him. Quarter of the odds for top 3 as well. So you've got a chance of a 4-1 pick if he comes in the top 3. I think Dortmund finished really strong at the end of the season. They won 8 of their last 10 games, come from 11th to finish 4th later on to steal a Champions League spot. So yeah, 8 wins from 10. They drew 1 against Bayern Munich and they lost 1 against Barcelona. That was it. And they were full of goals. 3 or more in their last 6 straight games to finish the season, including 3 against Barcelona, 4 against Leverkusen. So running up scores against decent teams as well. I think they've got a very favourable group. And Guirassi scored in 6 straight games to finish the season off there. Scored in all 6 of them. Scored 9 in total, including a hat-trick against Barcelona. I think he'll have opportunities in this group and potentially another opportunity once they get into knockouts if they can win this group and get a decent, favourable second-round tie. So yeah, I like Guirassi for Dortmund at 16-1 in the top scorer market, and I'll be taking it each way.
I think I wrote down Harry Kane in that market, but I haven't officially made him a play, or maybe just I wrote the article for the website, sportsgamblingpodcast.com, and I definitely put Harry Kane up in that one. Wasn't a very fancy price. The only thing with that is because Bayern Munich love to bully the shit teams. Who's won the Champions League, was it 9 past Salzburg or Red Star or whatever the hell it was. And Harry Kane, if they do that, Harry Kane can get 5 or 6 of them. And that's sometimes what wins you a golden boot in these type of tournaments. Someone will go and score 4 goals and finish on 5 or 6. Go on.
I wouldn't put anyone off Harry Kane. One of the reasons I didn't go Harry Kane is because I thought you were going to, because I know you'd put him in the article.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've got Auckland first game, and there's every chance Harry Kane could go and get 3 or 4 in that first game and be off to an absolute flyer in the golden boot market. So yeah, I wouldn't talk anyone out of Harry Kane, even at a short price.
I've tracked up the top scorer market here because, Harry Kane is third favourite, 7-1. And Lee's having a look at Julian Alvarez. I like Julian Alvarez as well, 20-1. We're getting a quarter of the odds, 1, 2, 3 for Atletico Madrid. But what I liked for Julian Alvarez was to just be Atletico's top scorer, team top scorer here. 6-4 plus 150. They've got Alexander Soloff, 6-5 favourite. Remember that big clumsy lump who played for Crystal Palace for a little while, and then he's disappeared off Europe. Alvarez is better than him. This kind of football might suit him a little bit. I think that might be casually racist, but I just think he's live, 6-4 plus 150 for Alvarez to be the Atletico top scorer. I've got some fucking nuts bets now, Baz, if you want. Total tournament goals, Barry. 64 games. Now, I've wrote down definite trend. I don't think it is a definite trend. I think it's a trend I've imagined. Or I've watched 2 games of football and decided that it's a global trend. And it's the trend is towards goals, Baz. Just all the football I've watched lately. Champions League final, 5-0. Both semi-finals, Inter and Barca finished 3-3. Champions Nations League last week, Spain 5, France 4, Spain 2, Portugal 2. So football's just changed a little bit, and teams are going for it. So we need some help with this because the line is round about 183 goals. But I'm going to head up the ladder, Baz. I'm going to miss out all the rungs. But I'm going to go for over 195 goals at 6-1. Now, that's 3.06 goals per game. So it needs to be a fun tournament with plenty of goals. But we need to see we need to see Bayern Munich knocking 9 past Auckland City or something like that. A couple of mad scores could really help us with this one. And like I say, all of those games have been over 2.5. I mean, 3 goals per game is not a ton. And it's 6-1. I think it's value for money, over 195 goals. And you can find these on Bet365, by the way, if anyone's looking. And my final play, which kind of flies in the face of that last one, Brad, is under 22 goals from outside the box at 6-5 plus 120. Like I say, the total goal line's 183. Average last year in the top European leagues, 11.4% goals are scored from outside the box, Baz. That's 20.8 if we only land on 183. So we're in. Even if we get up to 196, that's only 22.34. 0.34 of a goal is not even a whole goal. That doesn't count. So we can't lose, it turns out. So under 22 goals from outside the box, it's 6-5 plus 120. That is all my outright picks. Do you have anything else before we go into match day 1?
No, that's it for me.
Beautiful. Okay. Loads of winners. I've never been so confident. Let's have a look at Underdog. Pick'em going long for the NBA Finals with their extender bonus. Hop in game 1. The longer the series goes, the bigger the bonus gets. Use our code PLGP to claim a special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code PLGP. And you've heard us talk about Rhythm before, but they've just dropped a game-changing feature called Power Trends. These are AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's model is consistently won and has a high ROI. For example, a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and win probability hit a certain range. Updated daily, exclusive to Rhythm. Power Trends starts betting smarter. Get your 7-day free trial. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. And finally, we're brought to you by mybookie.ag. Your place to bet on every sport, including the NBA Finals and Stanley Cup. Tons of locations, crypto payouts. Place to get all of that is at mybookie.ag with the promo code PLGP for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. T's and C's apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code PLGP. Okay, so we're going to have a look at the matches here taking place on Sunday and Monday. We'll probably be back Sunday or Monday to have a look at midweek fixtures for next week. There's a game through the night. So this will be Saturday for our American and Canadian listeners. I don't know what day it'll be for that bloke in Nepal. Sorry, mate. But it's 1 o'clock in the morning here, which is 8 p.m. Eastern time. So we've got Al Ahly Cairo against Inter Miami. They said 3 games on Sunday, 3 games on Monday. I ended up making a pick on every game, but not a full analysis. I know, don't pull that face. I think I've got... Oh, no, I didn't. Sorry, I missed Porto out. I'm boycotting Porto. I'm boycotting handicapping them in this tournament. I've got 3 analysed picks, and I've got a 3-team ACCA, a 3-leg ACCA out of the other one. Lenny has joined us. Lenny Ward. Lenny is in Kuala Lumpur. That's in Malaysia, Barry. Did you know that? Welcome along. Go and spread the word, Lenny. Brilliant. Did you see China scored a goal last week, Baz, eventually? 93rd minute penalty. They got won 1-0. But alas, on the same day, India failed to score. So we still haven't got the over half a goal double up on India and China. Billions of them there is, Baz. Absolutely billions. Tom Crean, Iceman, who always says nice things on YouTube's managed to join us in the live as well. Welcome, Tom. I like the Cairo in my ACCA, so I haven't got them. Baz, you have anything on that game?
Yeah, it's one. I mean, I've only made 3 picks from these first round of games. I like the Cairo versus Inter Miami was one of them because it's the one we've all been waiting for, isn't it? The big curtain raiser, 1 a.m. on a Sunday morning. What more could you want? And obviously, it had to be Messi to open the show because they've bent over backwards to get him here. My takeaway here was goals. I think Miami should probably win this one. As you said before, FIFA probably want them to win this one. But I don't think you can trust them at the back in defence. I don't think it can be trusted. They have conceded in all of their last 10 games and conceded 2 or more in 5 of the last 10. I think, obviously, at the other end, you can expect goals from Suarez, Messi. 9 of the last 10 into Miami games have went over 2.5 goals. And that's where I ended up on this one. I think we will see goals. I think I'll actually might nick one themselves. But the over 2.5 here at 7-10 is my first pick. I'll actually be in at Miami over 2.5 goals at 7-10.
Well, I was right there with you, Baz. It's a parlay piece for me. I've got a 3-teamer, a 3-leg. I keep saying a 3-teamer, a 3-leg parlay, and I did like both teams to score. But it was a little bit short to give out as an outright pick. It's 4-6, which is why I put it in my ACCA, Baz. Pretty much for all the reasons that they scored quite a few and conceded quite a few, but I've got no problem with them either as well. But so yeah, 4-6. The next one up, this is a bit of an odd game here because you've got Bayern Munich at 1-100, which is what, minus 10,000, I think. This is at 5 o'clock on Sunday, so 12 o'clock Eastern time. 28-1 the draw, 50-1 Auckland City. I'll try to find an angle this, Baz. And I've considered taking my favourite Bayern Munich bet, which is, I know you knew, don't do it, under 4.5 goals. Because, Barry, do you know how many goals 5 goals is? It's a lot of goals. It's 5, it's that many goals. But I couldn't pull the trigger against Auckland City. They give up tons of everything, even in the Australian League. They play in the Aussie League, even though they're from New Zealand. They give up a lot of all sorts. So, if Munich are expected to score 4 or 5, the shots on target market seemed really low, Baz. 10.5 shots on target for Bayern Munich. This should be attack v defence. They'll miss one for everyone they score. So I'm going to take over 10.5 shots on target for Bayern Munich, not match. This is Munich shots on target. Over 10.5 is 9-10 minus 111.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you didn't take the unders because I've went into this game as well. And I think this could be a game to target Bayern in. I expect they'll get off to a flyer. And I think they will run up a score here. Perfect situation for Kane's golden boot credentials, this one. Certainly with tougher games to come against Benfica and Boca Juniors. I want Bayern here. And I think Bayern will cover the handicap. I'm happy to take the minus 4.5 handicap at 10-11. So you're getting your shots on target and you said they might score one for everyone they miss. So that works out around about a 5-0. So that'll do us.
My next main play is in the PSG Atletico game, which is a game that our esteemed leader, Sean Green, is going to. He knows nothing about football. He's been slagging it off, actually, on the NFL podcast this week. I've been listening. PSG Atletico Madrid, 8 o'clock on Sunday, which is 3 p.m. Eastern time. PSG 5-6 minus 120. 14-5 the draw plus 240. 29-10 plus 290. Atletico Madrid. And this is one of those games where, having handicapped both teams relatively well, relatively recently, I was quite happy to stick with a play that's worked out. So I think it's a tricky game on the outrights, but we'll see if this tournament is going to behave differently. maybe after 3 or 4 days and it's all red hot and no one can be arsed and all the games are finishing 0-0, we might have to change our tune. But I'm going to handicap this like it's an extension of the Champions League that we saw from February, March, April going onwards. And that was first half goals, Baz. It was really profitable. We got it over the line in the Champions League. We got it over the line. We talked about, I looked for that first 15-minute goal again, which I missed. Got the 11th minute in the Champions League final. But over 1.5 first half goals, just because in my head, I keep winning on it, especially in PSG games. And Atletico got off to a flyer, didn't they, against Real Madrid? There was goals early in those games. Over 1.5 first half goals, 6-4, plus 150, Baz.
Yeah, I've got nothing in that one. The next one for me, and it's my final pick, is the Chelsea versus LAFC game. And I think you've talked LAFC down already. You said you think they'll fail to qualify. They were only added to this competition very recently, weren't they? Had to play a playoff to get into it. So it might be a little bit short on prep compared to some of the other teams from that neck of the woods. They are unbeaten in 10, but they don't keep many clean sheets. Very similar to Inter Miami. They've conceded in 9 of their last 10 and conceded at least twice in 5 of those last 10 as well. We know Chelsea have got a massive squad, so I think they will be able to sort of change the lineup around and still be reasonably strong, certainly for a fixture like this. They have added Delap to the squad. Might bring a few more goals. He's better than Nicholas Jackson. I think Chelsea will have enough here to get past LAFC, and I fancy Chelsea to get a few goals on the way. I'm going to go for a Chelsea team total. Chelsea to score 3 or more against LAFC. I just don't think LAFC have got enough defensively. Chelsea team total over 2.5 at 11-10.
Oh, Barry. Very, very similar pick. I've taken the same cat and skinned it ever so slightly differently. Chelsea will get this done, but I think LAFC will give it a go. So I wanted to bet that they could contribute towards. My pick is Chelsea to win in over 2.5 match goals, because I just wanted to factor in that 3-0 Chelsea, Baz, that you want as well. So if LAFC get one, Chelsea can knock them off 2-1. If they don't, the 3-0 is very much in play. So I had a couple of outs on this one. Slightly shorter price. It's 5-6, minus 120, but we're on the same lines, Baz. You like it?
I looked at exactly the same pick, and I just thought the better price drew me in against Chelsea. So let's take something at a plus money price here. But I did look at the exact same pick.
That's your last pick, yes, Baz?
Yeah.
Okay. I've got the 2 more to go in my parlay. So that's all my main picks done. My parlay opened with both teams to score in Al Ahly Cairo against Inter Miami. I'm going to add to that the under 2.5 goals in Botafogo v Seattle Sounders. Both teams really strong trends to the under. They just have more unders than overs. So playing against each other, I see that one going under 2.5. It's a short price, 7-10, minus 142. And finally was Boca Juniors against Benfica. Boca have both teams to score in lots of games. Benfica was split. Benfica keep a lot of clean sheets against the dog shit teams in Portugal. It's a real donut of a league, the Portuguese league. You've got the top and you've got the bottom, and there's a big hole in the middle. They keep clean sheets against the bottom, but they don't against the good teams, and they couldn't in the Champions League. Boca Juniors will be all right. They're comparable to the top end of that Portuguese league. So both teams to score is 9-10. That you could have that as a main play if you want. It's a really nice price. So the both teams to score there with the unders in Botafogo, Seattle, and BTTS in Cairo, Miami, pays 17-4 plus 425. Baz, is my little accumulator there, and I think that's me done. Baz, do you have anything else to add?
Not from a picks point of view, no.
No. That's a little
more.
tease, that, Baz. That makes it sound like you've got some huge and far-reaching lifestyle chats to hit us with.
No, not really. As I say, just a very busy week this week. I've been getting all cultural again, as you know. I do like the culture, the live music, the theatre shows and all that. I've been down in London yesterday.
Barry.
So it was Helen's birthday, and I was struggling for ideas, so I got a ticket for the theatre. So this is why I've been busy. I took a half day Wednesday, went out for a nice 3-course meal for lunch, and then out for a few drinks in the evening because it was our birthday. And then I'd bought tickets for a show yesterday afternoon, so I went down to London yesterday.
Giraffes on sticks.
Yeah?
Was it giraffes on sticks?
No. It
No.
was Hamilton.
Oh, you've seen that before, haven't you?
I know we have, but she
Oh,
wanted to go see it
hell.
again from a better view because we were quite high up last time, so we got good seats right near the front. It was good. But went to Leather Lane Market, which is a new one for me, a little food market. It's only open Mondays to Wednesdays in London, but if you're in London through the week, Leather Lane Market was tremendous. They had Peruvian, Brazilian, Turkish, Lebanese, also everything you could possibly want. And you just walk down the streets and there's little samples coming out everywhere. I had the nicest quesadilla I've ever had. It was absolutely beautiful. A beef birria quesadilla, and also some Korean fried chicken was really nice as well. So tried some lovely food while I was down there. So yeah, I only got back last night, then back to work today. So I only had a little bit of time after work tonight to handicap this shite. And then it's busy again all weekend. I'm driving up to Newcastle tomorrow to go see Sam Fender at St. James Park.
Fuck, you know.
I didn't particularly want to, but it was a gift for Chloe's birthday back in May.
Yeah.
So I'm taking Chloe and a friend up. So we're going up tomorrow morning, at the gig tomorrow night, drive back Sunday. So another weekend will quickly disappear. So yeah, theatre, city breaks, music, all going on. Busy man at the moment. Like,
yeah, I got to hear Sam Fender out the back garden last night, Baz. Went out and had a little listen. Not really for me. All the Mackems wetting their knickers about him on the socials is a bit weird. I've got in my van. I've got I'm quite an analog person, Barry. I've got a little book that I keep various lists of, and I've got a list of. It's like red flags in a man, like. And the list's called the kind of bloke who ... And then I finish the sentence. If something hits me, the kind of bloke who books his birthday off work. You know what I mean? The kind of bloke who's been to Japan. That sort of thing, like just an annoying twat of a bloke. The kind of bloke who's seen Hamilton twice is absolutely going on that list, Barry. That's a real concern for me. Like, I'm going to have to reevaluate our friendship. Like, I'm not having it.
have you seen Hamilton?
Of course, I haven't seen it.
Well, of
I've
course,
been at Hamilton
if you'd
races.
seen it once, you might go and see it again. It was good. To be fair, the first time I went was for Chloe's birthday, and the second time I went was for Helen's birthday. I'm rubbish at thinking of ideas for birthday presents, so I come up with quite predictable stuff like that.
Tickets is a good cop out. Like, I'm a big fan of that. And the beauty of this, if like you end up going, I can tend to send them away. Like, the kids go with grandma or the missus goes with her mate. So I've got your tickets for you and Helena to go and watch this shite. And if you book it in Scarborough or Leeds or somewhere, you can only get away with a night to yourself because you force them into an overnight stop as well. So there you go. Bootle's joined us. Hopefully, Bootle's going to spend the off season not starting fights in the in the comment section, because the last 2 weeks of the season, Bootle was there like a Viking taking on all comers. Well, unless
we never talked about Thomas Frank. Thomas Frank,
yes,
is the most obvious. I mean, everyone knew it was happening anyway, didn't they? From the second Postecoglou got the sack, it was going to be Thomas Frank, wasn't it? But that and Florian Wirtz, poor Liverpool.
No ceiling,
money. They haven't hit the ceiling quite yet. They managed to find 130 million to spend on Florian Wirtz.
Not quite. It's a Coutinho money, man.
The Coutinho money's still doing them well.
Coutinho money. They've dragged that out, haven't they? The old Coutinho money. 8 seasons now they've been spending that fucker. Right, don't wind anybody up, Baz. Apart from Waka Casablanca fans, we've gone through 50 minutes without agitating anyone. So let's have a summer of love, and we can get back into the shenanigans. Right, don't forget, I want to see your opening day Premier League fixtures, either on Spotify, YouTube, Twitter, email, anything like that. And there'll be a glittering prize for anyone who gets 8 out of 10 or more correct. Covered my backs there, Baz, haven't I? Right, can we go now?
Yes, absolutely. Let's get out of here. I'll try and come back with a bit more enthusiasm for the next one, but
Well,
I'm
if you
not
pick a few
promising.
winners this weekend, Baz, you'll be absolutely buzzing.
I'm not promising anything, but we'll try.
All right, we'll try. Right, I'm going to put my hands up in the air so you can press the buttons. We know the system. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. I apologise for Barry's attitude, and we will see you down the road. Cheers.